Welcome back to the coverage from the Kedron Wavell Services Club, coming from the Pacific Blue Room, and we've just witnessed a beauty, a welterweight contest that was set down for 6 rounds. It went within an inch of going the entire distance, and soon after the fight was brought to an end, we were showered with coins and $20 notes. It was just marvellous for the game, and the crowd now have really started to warm up for the rest of the entertainment this evening. We've got a heavyweight contest coming up soon. We've got a special guest joining us in commentary. I'll introduce him fairly soon for you. But I'm wanting to talk more about the Vai Mori fight now. And before I go on any more, let's go to Chopper at the weigh-in last night with both the boys.
Back at the weigh-in with the big fellas. Vai Toevai from New Zealand. He's been here before. Mate, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Thank you for coming over. You look fitter this time. You've done a bit more work?
Yeah, a little bit on the arms.
Nothing wrong with doing curls for the girls, Vi. I'm a big fan of curls for the girls. Mate, you know much about your opponent?
Yeah, met him before in Sydney. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So you fought Mark before? Well, there you go. 2 mates, 2 monsters getting in the ring here at the Kedron Wavell Services Club. All the best.
103.3.
Well, if I've ever felt thin, it's now. Here we are beside Mark Mori at 103 ripped kilos. And, mate, looking great.
Yeah, lighter than last time. Last time I was fighting around 108 to 110. I think it was too much and too much muscle. I looked like a bodybuilder trying to box, and I think it was just taking away from my stamina. And as a result, I don't think I was performing too well, but trying to be more like an athlete now, and I think you'll see a bit of a difference tomorrow night.
Well, there you go. A little statistic. What's your best bench?
Best bench, 145 for 6.
That's big. That's very big. Putting it in perspective, Gordon Tallis does about a 130 for 6. So a very strong man, Mark Mori.
I won't be relying on my strength tomorrow night, though. It's going to be a lot of speed, something you haven't seen from me before. A bit of speed, bit of movement, a bit more experience. Won't be so crude. So
I believe him.
Well, there you go. They were both boys being interviewed by Chopper last night. Chop Toevai. I don't think he's a fitness fanatic. He just sort of breezes into town, does what he has to do, and then goes about the rest of his working life. But I just a bit hard to work out whether or not he's totally dedicated to the sport or whether or not he just likes it enough just to keep his hand in.
Well, I feel a bit sorry for him because he was supposed to fight Mick Peachy. Now, that's certainly a little bit easier opponent than Mark Mori. So credit for his bravery. And, let's see what the fight entails, but I think they fought before and Mark's beaten him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in this one.
Yeah, I'll bring Nathan Briggs in on this one. Nathan, of course, before Colin Wilson had an accident up there at Emerald in the Mines, was to fight our feature fight here. It was a return bout for the Australian heavyweight title, and not to worry, tonight wasn't the night, but it's going to be coming up pretty soon. It looms largely on the 7th of April. I'll tell you more about that night soon as well. Nathan, first of all, mate, thanks for joining us in commentary.
Hey guys, how are you?
Just a change that late for a boxer's preparation. Mentally, does it muck you around a lot?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely, because it depends how much you know the fighter that you're going to fight, because you've got a game plan for them, and then everyone fights different, especially in the heavyweight division. And the difference between Mark Mori and Michael Peach is a fairly big one, you know.
Yeah, right. And knowing Chopper as well that they had fought before, and on that occasion it was a loss to the Kiwi. That plays heavily as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's going to be playing mental games with himself to say that he's better this time out. Look, I really hope he is. You're right, he's a little bit light, he's a little bit thinner. But as you've seen at the weigh-in, Mori is a monster. And he had a lot to say, as you saw. So it'll be very interesting if he can back up his words.
Toevai's out there. I had a little chat with him last night at the weigh-in, and he basically said that he really only started to prepare a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. He's had one spar in a fortnight. It's far from ideal, this preparation.
I know Mark's had a fairly good preparation because, he hurt his hand and he's been training fairly well for this.
Well, he said he fought Mori some 18 months ago and lost that fight in the 3rd round. He said he can't remember actually being hurt. So I suppose if there is an advantage there, knowing that he lost the fight, at least that he doesn't recall a savage attack. So as Mori is about to come out to the ring, Toevai is already there. While we're waiting for the for Toevai's opponent to grace the canvas. Just quickly, Nathan, on yourself. The hand first of all, because
the hand's good. Yeah, the hand's good, and it'll be 100% for this fight. I'll be moving completely different for this fight. I'm really excited about it. I've trained right over Christmas, didn't have a Christmas for New Year's, and can't wait for the 7th.
Yeah, good one. All right. Here comes Mark de Mori. I said that we shape up again on April the 7th. We are looking at Chandler, and I'll tell you more a little bit about that promotion as the evening rolls on. But this is our fourth fight. Both fighters are in the ring. Let's go up to our ringside announcer. Once again, here's Peter Rukas.
Ladies and gentlemen, fight 4 on tonight's card here at Kedron, Wavell. And we introduce the big boys, the heavyweights of boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you firstly in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with the red piping, trained by John Glozier in the wonderful city of Auckland, New Zealand, from the land of the long white cloud, weighing in at 99.8 kilos. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vai Toevai.
That one.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent standing before you, boxing out of the red corner, a man who is tonight wearing the purple trunks and the white piping, tipping the scales at a muscle-bound 103.3 kilos. He was dubbed Australia's most talked about heavyweight, but he, like is now, we like to call him the Dominator. Ladies and gentlemen, formerly of Queensland, now of Western Australia, please welcome back to Brisbane, Mark the Dominator de Mori. As Michelle tells us, the first round of a 4 by 3-minute round contest, heavyweight action. Your referee, Mr. Alan Moore. Your judges, Mr. Adrian Cairns, Tony Kettlewell, and Phil Austin.
You both know the rules, gentlemen. Shake hands, enjoy yourselves. Back you go. Right, fellas, back you go.
Here we go, the big fellas. And they are big, Mark.
You just try and figure out for the
Seconds down,
for the supporter and the fan out there,
round
what actually he means by enjoy yourself when you've got some bloke at 103 coming at you and throwing big bombs like he's just launched that left hand that missed.
Mind you, I missed by a foot and a half.
Yeah, it did. Oh, hello.
What would Nathan Briggs be doing right now?
Against Mark?
Stop punching, stop punching.
Move and use a jab. He's not real good at throwing straight punches. He wins them a bit. So I'll be jabbing and moving.
You've done some round sparring with him?
Yeah, I've done a fair bit with Mark.
Come on.
He's tough. Like, he's tougher than what people think.
Let him go, Mori, let him go.
And he's young, you know. He's got so much time on his side.
Punch up or get
Obviously
out,
very
gentlemen.
powerful. He can whack.
Let him go. Let him go.
He looks like he can whack.
Step back. Don't punch.
Yeah.
The big guns, Chop.
We'll see if the big guns can work. The one single punch
Two hands.
isn't going to
Keep
work
punching.
for
Both
long
of you,
in
get
this
your hands out and punch.
heavyweight
Come on.
division.
Both of you, punch up.
Nathan
Get out.
Briggses and the Colin
Get out.
Wilsons can still throw big punches but move and jab and have a high work rate, not just 1, 2 or 3 punches.
Last time de Mori was in Brisbane, he fought at the Broncos Leagues Club, and they still talk about that one against Alex Leopai. Went the distance, it was a draw. And he was a real crowd pleaser on that night. Tonight he's got a different opponent. At the 11th hour, there was a late change as Peachy broke down with a back injury. And Paddy Tua stayed in New Zealand, who was to be de Mori's original opponent. And now we've got these two boys shaping up here. Not a lot to report in the first part of the first round. We're set down for, I think it's 4 rounds here. Yeah, 4 rounds. It's our 4th fight from the Kedron Wavell Services Club coming to you. The previous one was a ripper. I'm sure you enjoyed that if you saw it. Alan and Condren, if you never, get a replay.
Punch up. Come on, 2 hands, both of you. Keep
By
punching.
Tuevai's credit, he's
Punch
taking
up
it
or
to
get
this
out.
great big monster,
Let
de
him go.
Mori,
Let him go.
and is throwing more punches than him at the moment. De Mori relying on that one big punch, the single jab.
Yeah, de Mori, to me, looks like he's moving the same as he used to. I thought he was going to use a bit more speed and a bit more movement, but he seems to be loading up a bit and moving the same.
Well, you've sparred him, Nathan, so you're going to know what he was like before. But very flat-footed, and if he wants a career in the heavyweight division, he's got to learn how to box, not just hit.
Yeah, for sure.
Let him go.
And punches and bunches, that's the key.
Righto, that's enough. That's stupid, fellas. Settle down. Here he is. Come on.
Well, and Moore's not overly fussed with that type of carry on. And it's all a little bit messy early, isn't it?
Box on. Come on, straight left.
And Toevai walking up and unloading. And now that is Mori. The last 10 seconds, first round.
All right, that's not a bad round. Typical heavyweight fight, you know.
Well, actually, it's not typical heavyweight because my last heavyweight fight encounter I watched and commentated on was Wilson v. Briggs, and it was a gem for 5 rounds. So I don't think that was a typical heavyweight round. I'd certainly like to see some more action, and that's really hard to call. You know, I'm giving it to Vai Toevai. I thought he threw more punches.
Yeah, I thought Vai did well that round.
9-10 round to Vai Toevai, blue corner.
10-9 in the blue for Chopper on his scorecard that you can see there now on screen. With Vai Toevai's preparation, but he couldn't come across from New Zealand, and Lawrence Tuasa is the man that's helping out Toevai this evening, as Toevai now pounces on the attack, walks in, and then Mori spins him round, and now Mori is where he would prefer to be to fight this fight. To Toevai's credit,
Keep on going, gentlemen.
he is moving Mori back with each blow that he connects.
And Lawrence Tuevai is a brilliant light heavyweight cruiserweight fighter who's in Tuevai's corner. So he's being managed pretty well.
Yeah, Lawrence is a very good fighter. He's just moved up to Brisbane. I'm looking forward to doing some good rounds with him, you know. He's had a lot of experience. Very good boxer.
Box on.
As the boys in the middle swing bombs in round 2. Tuevai slipping into the left right of Mori, who is flat-footed centre ring.
Yeah, I think the key in the heavyweight division is try and bring something different to what every other heavyweight brings, and that's a bit of movement, a bit of fast jabs, you know, some combinations. Oh, big punch.
To Tuevai's credit, he's still in front of him, and he's still jabbing.
2 hands, punch up or get out, both of you.
Progress through the second round. It was gone quiet. We're just waiting for something to report on.
Well, the left-right of Mori is not working. So he's got to pump that double jab out and move.
Yeah, I think Mark's got to get his punches straighter, his left right straighter. He seems to wing his punches. I think he loses a bit of power when he does that too, you know.
Certainly got some, and that's a nice body shot off the left rip.
That's better.
Much better, and a nice spin, beautiful spin. Single jab again.
Ooh. Might have found his mark. I think he's as tough as Toevai.
Well, he's walked straight out of his corner, back into centre ring.
Put your left hand away. Box on, gentlemen.
He's into the concreting profession back in New Zealand. There's Toevai, and
Toevai looks a bit fitter than when I saw him last.
Much better.
Punch up, 2 hands, gentlemen.
His last report was that he hasn't done a lot, but maybe he's laid a lot of concrete. You're probably right there, because it was a really sloppy occasion, wasn't it, when he fought Leopai out at Mansfield?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a hug-a-thon, not dissimilar to how this is going in round 2.
There's another one of those left rips, as you would say, Chop.
Well, Tuevai's blocking those because Mori's throwing them from Canberra.
Yeah, you can see
them from here. Yep.
You've got to set punches up. That's how you get your combinations going. Set some punches up with the jabs.
It's getting harder and harder to score, Nathan. How did you see that?
I'd give that a draw. It was a pretty even round.
So we've got 1 to Toevai, and I agree. Let's call that a draw. They each hugged each other the same amount of time. Wasn't a lot of clean punches landed.
Well, Righto, well, the pin-up girls do their stuff. Should acknowledge Madison Sport. Paul and Steve are here this evening. Once again coming through with the sponsorship for Red Corner Promotions. Acrylic Coatings Australia and Ace Plasterers, our key sponsors here this evening from the Kedron Wavell Services Club. We're into the third now. Nathan Griggs preparing himself to fight Colin Wilson in commentary with us. And Mark Chopper Burgess, who scored that one even, and Nathan thought the same. Gentlemen. And maybe the blue corner of Toevai just narrowly hit after the first.
We're into the third, and Toevai's starting to move a little bit, and I think he's got a little sniff that he could be going okay here. Yeah. Demori's just anchored. And Lawrence in his corner has said, hey, if you start boxing this guy, you're a chance of winning this.
Yep. He's got a smile on his face, looks like he's having fun.
If he can stay out of that corner and throw a couple of jabs, be an interesting contest.
Get out, one or the other.
Should double those punches up.
Absolutely.
Double the jab up and then throw a right in.
And if he threw it straight, heaven knows what would happen if he landed.
Yeah.
Hands up, come on. Put that jab out. Come on, get it.
So,
here now.
Here we go. Into the third. Mori's going to have to do something. I don't know what he's got.
Come on, let's urge him on.
Two hands, get your hand off his head. Take your hand off his head. Punch up both of you. Come on, two hands, gentlemen, keep going. Pull your hands away.
Oh, maybe the left. Oh, and the left certainly connected.
Left hook.
The first one might have just stung him enough. He dropped the right and he found it again.
Yeah, the left hook was good. Now, how much does Vai want to stay in there? Second last. We're in round 3. Second last.
This is when you'll see how hard he's trained for the fight. It was concrete in training in the last 2 weeks. No, he's had enough, I think. Yeah, no, he's had enough.
It's over. The Mori wins.
And Vai said, I'll catch the first plane out of here. The second one was the one that did the damage. The first one set it up for the second left. And a fair amount of power behind it, but I don't know. What do you take out of that then, Nathan?
Yeah, I don't know why these guys get in there if they're not ready to fight. You know what I mean? But I think Mark's moving the same as he always has. I think he's got a fair bit of work to do before he thinks about stepping up the ranks for the Australian heavyweight title. You know.
Well, comparing the two heavyweight fights that we've seen in the last few months between Briggs and Wilson, and these two,
they're worlds apart.
Worlds apart.
Righto.
Here comes his left hook now.
Okay, let's have a little look at the end of this fight. Vai was doing all right up until this point. He was certainly, and then there was...
The uppercut was good. The left hook came and hit him flush on the right hand, and
that one
there's
there.
the left hook. And that's a bolo right hand from Mori that he didn't need. And Toevai's had enough.
Yeah, he just walked. He just ambled over to his corner, and when his senses came round, he figured, well, no, I don't want to get hit with another one of those. Our ringside announcer is Peter Rukas. He's got to the official decision pending, and let's go up to him right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision in our heavyweight fight here tonight at the Kedron Wavell Services Club. First of all, put your hands together for both of our combatants tonight, Vai Toevai and Mark Mori. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute 56 seconds into the third round. The referee stopped the fight in favour of the red corner, Mark the Dominator Mori.
You just see once again
the replay and the uppercut, the left hook, the right hand, the left hook, and that's all she wrote.
Mark's got a big punch. If he worked on his other short punches and his jab and all that sort of thing, he'd have a good kit of punches, you know.
Hand injury just mentioned there, and no doubt one of the chief reasons that he hasn't been all that active. In fact, he didn't fight at all during 2018. 2005, and thought seriously about giving it away. Must spend a bit of time in the gymnasium. And I mean, as a big man, how important is that? What's your take on that, Nathan?
I think the weight slows you down, and that was proof of that tonight. Look, I think if you're going to be a bodybuilder, you hit the weights and do bodybuilding weights. If you're going to look good, you know what I mean? If you're going to be a boxer, you do stuff that makes you punch faster and harder, you know. Obviously, if you do weights, you've got big arms and you load up a hook, it's going to hurt someone, you know. But it's the in-between stuff, the moving and jabbing and combinations. That's what you've got to work on to be different in this division, because every heavyweight's got a good chin and a big punch, and you have to bring something different.
All right. You can't identify with anybody at all, really, that's coming through the ranks that really doesn't need a lot of work to go to that next step. Are there blokes now that you know of that are coming through hungry and probably capable of taking that step?
Mark's pretty much it.
He's it?
Yeah, I think he's it. And the thing is, I think he's 24, 23 or 24. He's only young. Like, man, you know, if he keeps it up and keeps having wins, the thing with this is, you know, I know when I was fighting at that age, it's only really matured when I hit 30, you know, and most heavyweights do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I was one of the only ones that was in that kind of echelon where you either have to take the jump and fight the Colin Wilsons, or you stay and just then fight the duds. And there is a fairly big gap there, I think. And like just that last fight with Colin Wilson, I learned so much from it, and everyone will see that in the next time when I fight him. Just that experience that you feel when you're in with someone like that, you know.
Yeah, I just want to bring you back to that. I mean, you talk about the lessons learnt, but knowing that you weren't 100%, I mean, that all came out after the fight. We learned about the hand injury and that you couldn't have possibly thrown the hand the way that you wanted to. Knowing that you weren't 100%, how much can you take out of that then when you prepare for the next fight?
The biggest thing that I got out of that fight was the whole week before, knowing that I was going into a fight, my biggest fight of my life, with only one hand, and mentally I grew leaps and bounds from that. And then getting in there and having a real dig, I grew heaps mentally from that, and then you'll see that in the next fight.
Yeah, we haven't had much of a chance to talk after that, but a couple of times here, sometimes it's a little difficult when you're only looking from one vantage point. But in that fight there, you went down on the knee. Was it a result of the hand just aching so much?
I've never felt anything like it. It's like a shooting pain that starts in your hand and then hits you on the chin, you know. And it was a bad decision to take the fight, but like, you know, 10 fights down the track, that might be the best decision I ever made because of what I learnt out of the fight, you know, and what I went through in the ring in that fight it's going to make me a much better fighter, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there were times there where I figured, well, where's the punch come from? Big fella's down there. But
yeah, I can understand. Like, watching the fight, looks like a phantom punch. What's
going
on there?
Yeah, no, but such is the pain. Anyway, the hand back on the men.
Let's get ready to rumble.
There it is.
That was the left.
The big question mark. Will Nathan...